Yes, the A.
Like the corners of misty watercolor memories. Sing it if you feel like it. Oh, you'll be there. See each line of pain and glory. 'Cause you're the best thing that ever happened to me. Oh, you're the best thing that ever happened to me. Got a license to kill anyone who tries to tear us apart. Ooh, honey.
Welcome, Gladys Knight. Lovely to see you. Thanks for coming
Thank
on.
you. It's a pleasure.
License to Kill, interestingly enough. You had a few doubts about recording that, didn't you? You weren't too sure you should do it because of the title. Is that right?
Yeah, well, I didn't want anybody to think that I was advocating murder, you know? So,
Nobody gets killed in
yeah,
a Bond film.
yeah,
They just get bounced around a bit.
right.
Yeah.
And I've always been conscious of what I sing lyrically. You know, I feel we have a well, I do, just a personal opinion.
Yeah.
I feel we have a responsibility to what we put out there, you know, especially since so many young people look up to us and kind of try to follow our patterns and our thinking even sometimes, you know.
Really? So you wouldn't ever sing a song or record a song that if you thought the lyrics were a bit dubious or you weren't happy about them?
No, I couldn't do it.
Not a very sort of a very sexy song, or a very raunchy song, that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah,
It would be very difficult for me to do that.
Is that because of your upbringing, do you think, partly? I mean, you know, your parents were good church people, weren't they? And didn't smoke, didn't drink, didn't swear.
Right.
You know? Is it partly that's still inside you?
That's a possibility, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm not a prude, but I guess that may have something to do with it, you know, my values or what have you, and like trying to live what we try to teach the young people, you know.
Is it also because being black and living in America, you're conscious of the volatility of the mix there, as we've obviously just seen in LA, and,
Right.
and you don't want to be seen as doing anything.
Right, you don't want to take that.
Violence, but,
That's
you know,
right, though.
yeah.
You don't want to take that license that just somebody, you know. We don't want to take that chance. We got enough problems, you know, without just taking that license just to say, okay, well, I can stretch out with this one, or I can be a little laxed on this value, or what have you. We really can't afford to do it.
You get quite exercised, don't you, by racism in America, particularly in the music industry?
Oh,
Yeah.
It's just very subtle now, you know. There's still those prejudices and racism, you know. There's just a better cover-up, you know, like
you
now.
mean why? You mean because the white dominance in the music industry says, well, they had Motown, you know, and they've got R&B. What are they worrying about? You're kind of pigeonholed.
But that's just it, you know. R&B, it used to mean rhythm and blues, you know, and anybody could sing that. But now it's more relegated to black music or black radio or what have you. They put a color on it, and that's what started to bother me. So that's saying that I can't go out there and sing Stardust and have it accepted.
Right.
You know, because I'm not supposed to.
That's not your thing.
You know, that's
supposed to
not
be
your thing. You know, you're supposed to, everything has got to be church, and everything has got to be, you know, this gut, you know, kind of thing. You can't,
So do you mean that if you release a record, it's sort of, it's automatically headed for the R&B stations, that the one, that
Oh, no
playlist?
doubt about it. I've been in, this is my, well, I've been in the business over 40 years, okay, let's just say that. And I still have to go top 10 R&B radio before any pop station will play me. I mean, how much more do I have to prove? You know, if I could even give them some leeway and say, okay, they want to see if I'm a tried and true artist.
Sure.
You know,
Hardly.
I mean, I could come up with reasons to try to work it out for them.
Yeah.
But I can just think of no reasons. You know, I've done everything.
Didn't you release a single that Bette Midler later had a hit with?
Yeah.
Which one was that? I've forgotten, I'm afraid.
Wind Beneath My Wings.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
That was you.
Yeah, I was the first one to do it.
Yeah.
But again, it's not just radio, and I don't mean to be just picking on radio. It's kind of across the board kind of thing, and you do have your wars inside the record companies, which who ends up getting hurt? We do.
The artists,
Okay? Yeah, because they go, well, you ahead of black music. you know, we had a pop music, you know, and oh no, you can't have that because the power's over here, you know. So it's just...
You know, because that doesn't happen over here. I'm sure.
Really?
No, I'm no expert in the music industry, but I'm not aware of anything like that happening over
Yeah,
here.
well...
Didn't you also say that there's a kind of emphasis in the States on making white singers sound black, rather than accepting black singers doing their own thing and being on, you know, having the same importance as white singers?
Right. Well, I don't know if there's a intentional thing to do that, but I just think some of the non-black singers maybe have gotten in touch more so with that chord, you know what I'm saying? And they're just finding those artists now that sound very black. The unfortunate part of it is that they get more opportunities than the people who are actually black and have that innate sound.
What's interesting here, you see, is, I mean, that you started out saying, and it's true of you, that you don't want to do anything or to be seen to do anything which would add to the problems which exist.
Right.
And yet it's quite clear that you feel personally and on behalf of, you know, blacks in America and singers, that you are being victimized and prejudiced against. And of course we all saw that this extraordinary video from Los Angeles, you know, with this the guy being beaten up. How do you keep a lid on the anger? Because if I belong to a racial minority and I saw my people being treated that way, I mean, I would be very, very, very angry. And
It's
want to
very
do something.
difficult.
How do you do it? How do you
It's
keep a
very
lid on?
difficult. I draw back to something deeper, and people look at you and say, oh, you know, that's not something to draw. I go back to my faith and how we were intended to live, drawing on we're not supposed to be judgmental, but you do get angry, but you fight that, you know, because it destroys your constructive forces when you allow that anger to take you over. As long as I've been in the business, if I allowed that anger to take me over, I wouldn't be here now, because I'd spend most of my time fighting with these people who are doing me these injustices. So I have to leave it in a higher power and try to do the things where they can't do this to me. I'm going to make sure that I have my craft ready. I'm going to put in the time that I need so that they cannot just X me out. You know what I'm saying?
Sure,
And,
sure.
and does racism, as you have experienced it and as it exists in the world, does that never make you question your faith at all?
No.
No?
No, because it's been since the beginning of time.
Timeless, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
timeless.
Well,
Yeah, you know.
We must say, Gladys, you've lost your pips.
Yeah.
Not quite sure how you did lose them, but they're gone.
Yeah.
Well, you went
But one of them's here with me today.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
Just to sort of be here as a
Yeah.
comforting
Yeah,
presence.
just-
Because you went out on stage in Las Vegas in '89, was it? 1989?
Uh-huh.
For the first time, for
Oh, it was
30 odd years
strange.
without
It was
Was it
strange.
nerve-wracking? I mean,
Oh,
did it
yeah.
feel different? Did it?
It felt real strange. I mean, after 39 years or 37 years, however many it had been
Yeah.
at that time, not to look around and be able to see those guys on my right or my left was just a nerve-wracking experience. And it was like, you're really standing out here on your own. You know, if I used to forget a lyric or something, I could walk by in front of the guys, you know, and they said, neither one of them. You know what I mean? So, you know, if I forgot a lyric now, you know, it's like, hey.
Well, why don't you guys use what your presidents use, you know, and Mrs. Thatcher used to use it, the teleprompt. Why don't you have teleprompts out in concert, and then you never forget the line?
You know, some people do. I mean, they got all kind of tricks.
Who? Go on, tell us.
They got all kind. I'm trying to think who they were telling me the other day that has this little miniature
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't tell
No, it
on
wouldn't
him.
be
I
unfair.
remember who it is
We
now.
know it's a man anyway. 'Cause it's a him. I'll tell you what I find quite entertaining is this growth of these little sort of cams and little microphones actually
Yeah.
on the face. Do you use those?
No.
Because I think they look so unglamorous. They completely destroy
Like an
singer's
airline
mystique.
pilot, don't
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, they do.
Yeah.
But it was quite a thing, and it sort of frees you up creatively to do
Yeah.
other things, especially if you're into dancing.
Yeah.
And there was the cordless, but then when you're moving around a lot, you know,
You
you
gotta be
got
hands-free, yeah.
you may bring in a police channel, you know, or whatever, you know, using that. So they came up with this thing, you
Yeah.
know.
Well, Madonna needs both hands free to rub the legs of her dancers.
Yeah, you know.
Listen, we must mention this album you've got, which is called Good Woman, which
Yes.
is a solo album,
Yes.
including songs you've written yourself.
Yeah.
You're getting into that as well now.
I enjoyed that. I've
Yeah?
been writing for quite a while. My brother Bubba and another friend of mine, Sam Dees, we had a writing team.
Yeah.
And we enjoyed some successes. Save the Overtime for Me went to #1, which we wrote. I Didn't Want to Do Wrong, which is a while back, went to #1, which we wrote. So, you know, but I always wanted to get deeper into it. There was just some things in me I've wanted to say, and you know.
And now you're saying them and singing them.
Yeah.
Well, we got one of those albums to give away, haven't we, as a prize?
Well, we have.
And tickets to your
We'll
tour.
we'll say later on, but you're just before we get to that, you're on tour, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Where are you? Sort of all the way through the country, or what?
Yeah, you mean in UK
Yeah,
or
UK,
in the
UK.
States?
No,
See, I'm
UK.
still in the States.
You said in the States
Yeah.
as well?
Yeah.
Gosh, right.
All the way through. You know, we do London, we do Bournemouth, we do Plymouth, we do Manchester. We're just all over the
Well,
place.
rest your voice.
God knows how you stay looking so fresh. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Yeah,
do.
you're great.
Wonderful. Listen, you're not going away because Gladys is actually going to be back later on. She has gamely volunteered to judge our Motown Magic phone-in. So if you think that you sing a mean version of any of her hits or any other Motown soul classic, then give us a ring on 051 555 1000 and Gladys will be judging your efforts later on. Thank you so much for doing
I
this.
have to say, our
This is gonna be
producer
fun.
can't believe you're going to do this. She's been checking with your agent, saying, will she really do it? Will she
I'm
really
gonna do
judge
it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do
Good
it.
stuff.
It's time for our Motown Magic phone-in with the extremely brave Gladys Knight, judging the calls. She just told me that she thinks Fred's weather map is too cute.
It is too cute.
You didn't believe it, did you?
I didn't believe it.
It's featured on American telly a few times, actually.
Really?
Yeah, Good Morning America have come over and done shoots
It's
on it.
wonderful.
It's what we call low tech. Not to mention cheap. Cheap. Okay, right, here we go. You're all on the line, desperate to prove how well you can sing soul. So our first caller, our first singer, I should say, is Floyd Craven, calling from London. Are you there, Floyd?
I sure am.
Oh, now do I sense you are not British, are you?
I sure am not.
Where are you from?
I'm from Los Angeles. I've lived here for about nearly 5 years now.
I've got a feeling you're going to have an unfair advantage here. Are you a professional singer?
Yes and no.
Sitting on the
I
fence.
haven't done anything here since I've lived here. A
Right.
couple of talent shows, but that's it.
And here you go, straight onto live TV. What a break.
Even though it is on the phone, unfortunately. Okay, Floyd, sing to us.
Memories like the corner of my mind. Crystal watercolored memories of the way we were.
Hey,
All right.
that
okay.
was very good. What do you think, Gladys?
Potential.
He's got potential. He holds the note well, doesn't he?
Yes, it does.
What do you call those fiddly bits when you sort of go, and you come back onto the...
Vibrato.
Fiddly bits. I have to remember that when I get back, okay? They usually call them runs.
Runs.
Yeah, when you kind of bend the note.
When you bend the note and then come back to where you were, yeah.
It's
Okay.
yeah, but I like that better. Fiddly bits.
Fiddly bits,
Yeah.
Well,
I do.
Floyd's fiddly bits were terrific. What about the rest of it? Is it a hit or a miss? What do you think?
Potential. We'll have to do a little work, you know.
We should have had a middling.
Well, let's
Yeah,
do them
we-
both together.
Right,
2,
1, 2,
3,
3.
4. Okay, you're halfway there,
Well
Floyd.
done, Floyd. Don't take it to heart. I feel like Nina Mishkoff in New Faces here.
right, yeah. You're rubbish, Floyd. Get off.
No, he wasn't. He was very good.
Very good,
Now,
Floyd.
Bonnie Farrell is on the line now from Glasgow, and you're only 15, aren't you, Bonnie?
Yes, I am.
Hiya. Now, you're very keen on Gladys here, aren't you?
Well, she's my idol.
Idol. Right, okay, well, I
You
think
guys
that's
are
a bit
making it really tough for me.
I know. That's a bit of soft soaping. I think she'll probably
Just let
win.
me tell you something here. Scottish people are really good at doing these off-the-wall numbers. Oh, yeah, there's something about them up there. They're terrific. So,
All right.
Okay, what are you going to sing for us, Bonnie?
I'm going to sing You're the Best Thing That Ever Happened to Me.
Okay, love.
So,
Off you go.
Well, I've had my share of life's ups and downs, but fate's been kind. The doubts have been few. Oh, I guess you could say that I have been lucky. Oh, I guess you could say that it's all because of you.
very good.
she's good. All right,
She
Bonnie,
is
hold it there.
good. Bonnie, I believe your mother's in tears, and I'm not surprised. Because you
That was
found
very
out,
good.
don't you think?
That was
Yeah?
very good.
She had...
Excellent.
And she has a style of her own, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She doesn't, you know, sound like, she sounds like herself.
She's not ripping
like
it off, is
once
she?
she develops it, you know.
Yeah.
She sounds
Yeah.
immensely mature for 15.
Yes, she
I think
does.
Sort of
It's
mature
very good.
expression.
And even down a phone line, there was a quality, wasn't there, to the voice, a richness
Yeah,
to
and
a
you know,
voice,
it's
yeah.
difficult, and I want to say this, and I want to commend everybody that calls in here today to do things a cappella, because it doesn't always point you up to your best. You don't have any accompaniment to
Right.
sit on, you know what
Right.
I mean? So this is very raw, you know.
So I'll do it with the bell?
Definitely.
Good.
Yeah.
Well
Thank
done,
you,
Bonnie.
We'll
You're
come
gonna
back
be
to you a
a hit.
bit later.
Yeah.
Now, we've got Beverly. I'm sorry, darling, I can't pronounce your name. Is it He-Holt or Her-Holt?
It's He-Holt.
Beverly He-Holt.
He-Holt, yeah.
Right, sorry, right from Berkshire. Hi, good morning. Now, what are you going to sing for us?
Try to remember.
You sing in a gospel choir, don't you?
Yes, once a week in the evenings, yeah. It's
Lots of-
called Reading Community Gospel Choir.
That's how you started, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's right, you used to sing in the church choir.
Yeah.
Good
Okay.
training.
Just a
Okay.
thing, and it's just a way of getting involved, if you like. So.
Right. Okay, well, off you go. Try to remember.
Try to remember the kind of September when life was slow and oh so mellow. Try to remember, and if you remember, then follow, follow, follow.
That's lovely.
But
Sweet,
you guys are
isn't it?
really making it tough. You know?
I know. I think we're going to have more than one
She has
prize.
style,
Yeah.
and she also has a rich sound, you know,
Yeah.
a good sound.
And a
yeah.
sweet sound.
Yeah.
So I mean, don't worry, we can
Yeah.
give it a hit of hits. So we'd say that's on the right side of the line?
Yeah, I really like that. Listen, we're moving on very swiftly because I think we're only going to have time for one more call. It's Michael Phillips. He's calling from Sussex. And Michael, you want to be a professional singer, don't you?
I certainly do. I'd like to say hello to Gladys.
Hi.
Hi.
Right, okay. What are you going to sing for us, Michael?
I'm going to sing Superwoman.
Come on through for me now.
Yeah, come on. She's rooting for you. Come on, Michael, sing to us.
Okay. I'm not your Superman. I'm not the kind of guy who likes to get hurt, pretending everything is alright. You know I'm only human. I'm only human.
Gosh, sounds like Michael
Hey,
Jackson.
that.
touch of the old Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
isn't it?
and I like the originality, you know, that he had, and
Yeah.
that's always fresh and good to see when somebody's being original, changing the words to that song to make it his own is definitely a hit.
I thought that was
Okay,
great. Now,
yeah.
look, what are we going to do, folks? Because we have got room. That's all the time, all the calls we've got time for, I'm afraid, today. Who is going to win?
Is it going to be Bonnie from Glasgow,
Beverly or
Beverly from Berkshire, or
Phillips?
Michael, who we just heard from Sussex?
Are you going to be hard?
Now, how
about
we going
this?
to do? Yeah.
You're going to be hard?
Yeah, I am,
Go on,
because
then.
you can't judge them all as like one thing. They have their own thing.
Well, do we
each
have
one
three
of them.
winners?
Should we give them three or give them an album each and tickets
Give them an
each?
album
Yes.
each.
I would say
Okay.
so.
Right, we have a dead
So
meat between all
Bonnie
three.
Farrell, Beverly He-Holt, and Michael Phillips, you've all got copies of Gladys's new album and hopefully tickets for one of her forthcoming concerts. We'll also be winging their way to you
Yeah.
sometime this week. You all
And
sound terrific. Thank
and
you.
thank you very much
Oh,
for
it
coming
was
in and
fun.
doing it.
Thank
Lovely to
you
meet
for
you. It
having
really
me.
is.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
That was
pleasure
really
to have you.
fun.
Cheers.